Hi guys, it's Gordon at Kaizen Active here. This video is about kind of people that seem to do well for a few days at a time, maybe 2, 3, 4 days at a time, but then they binge eat or they fall off the wagon, and that's a perpetual cycle for them. So if that's you, and that sounds kind of familiar, then I want you to kind of have a look at this, and I want to try and explain one of the main reasons why that can happen. So to start with, what we need to kind of have a look at is all to do with kind of how many calories your body can store. Alright, so you can store an infinite amount as body fat, but when it comes to kind of energy stored in your muscles, then a female might store somewhere between 1600, 2200, and a male could store maybe kind of 2000. I'm obviously little, so I'd be maybe near 2200 at any given point in time, whereas kind of someone that's kind of bigger would obviously store maybe near 2500, 3000 calories. So the point of all that is there's a finite amount of energy that you're storing in your body. So we're going to just call that amount of energy 100%. And then what happens is I want to have a look at each day and what can happen depending on whether you eat and how you exercise. So let's say on day one, you've got loads of energy, you're feeling really good, you've kind of eaten loads of great quality food and your energy levels are really high. If you exercise and don't eat very much, then your energy stores are going to fall. Equally so, the same thing happens the day after. Your energy stores are going to fall, and going to fall. Now, on day one and day two, that's not going to be particularly problematic. But by the time we get to day 3 and day 4, then what's going to happen as these fall is hormone levels are going to kick in. Our hormones are going to kind of change. And in essence, if anyone's ever gone food shopping on an empty stomach, then you'll know what that feels like. So instead of consciously being in charge of kind of how much food you're going to eat, you're like a person possessed. So if you don't eat enough food day after day after day after day, then you can have this kind of gradual decline in energy stores, and at some point your mood's going to go kind of lower, but equally so you're going to feel a little bit tired and you're going to crave and you're going to binge. So the simple way to avoid this is to make sure that you top back up, that you replenish the energy that you're losing by kind of refueling, if you like. Eat more food. So it's a fairly typical thing again that we're going to see. It's almost like a dieter's dilemma. When you are trying to lose weight, you often cut back too much. That produces this, your body's energy stores just falling low. You begin to feel kind of sluggish, lethargic and bad. Hormones take over, make you eat more of the wrong things. You feel bad about that. That can be a self-perpetuating circle, and before you know it, you've had a few good days, but then you're kind of off the wagon and it's a vicious circle. So hopefully that makes some sense. The message here, if you're falling off the wagon every 3 or 4 days, increase the amount of great quality food that you're eating, and of course if you have any questions on this, just ask. Hope that helps. Bye bye.